Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to another episode of Trudge Report. This is a recovery-based podcast. My name is Sean and I am your host. I'm joined by my good friends and fellow trudgers. Please remember to listen on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Videos will be posted each week so you can watch episodes on YouTube and Facebook. But as always, please be sure to download on your listening platforms. Remember to like and subscribe on all social media outlets with the handle @TrudgeReportPod. We are brought to you by Stella Mix Podcast Management and our wonderful producer and editor, Miss Janine Stella. Gentlemen, good evening. Happy recording Sunday. The full-on Christmas season is upon us if it wasn't already. Happy post-Thanksgiving. Greg, how are you? How was Thanksgiving? How's wedding venue shopping? All that good stuff. What's going on, bud?
I've had a phenomenal week. Good to see you gentlemen this evening. Also, wedding venue shopping / little mini birthday trip / Thanksgiving week, man. I feel about 20 pounds heavier. I have been overloaded with good, delicious food this week. So back on it, dude. Back on the diet, back on getting on the workout plan, back to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
But Thanksgiving was really good. First year I've done it, without either, like my sister and her husband and kids, live out west and have for a few years now. But like now my mom and stepdad are out on the road too. So, I just was with my fiance's side of the family. Great Thanksgiving, great dinner, filled up. I was blessed to be able to cook the turkey this year, and it was a big old bird. I've never.
How was the pasta casserole?
I'd give it like a soft 6.5, if we're being kind.
If you had leftovers, would you eat leftovers
Of the pasta?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Now there was some stuffed shells there that were fantastic. And a lot of other good food. The turkey turned out good, man. I was concerned about it at the last minute. It was a 27-pound bird, and
wow,
yeah, it was the biggest bird I've cooked at home before, but it turned out great. The key is in the butter, man. You got to get up under that skin, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Get up in there.
You just get right.
Or what you know about that? You ever buttered a turkey?
Oh yeah, I've watched them do it.
Don't talk to me, Sean.
You ever buttered a turkey, baby?
You can pay. It's not OnlyFans, but it's a similar site where you can pay to watch Cory butter up a turkey. And let me just tell you,
it is. They're nice too. Those little hands.
It's spectacular, dude. It's spectacular.
Nice.
Called Corn Hub.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
What else, Greg? How's venue shopping? Wedding venue shopping.
Venue shopping was good, man. Definitely. We hit 4 venues in 2 days, kind of all over the southern half of, or the middle of the state of Ohio. And, man, saw a lot of good stuff, kind of gave us an idea of what we want, what we don't want. And the only thing I'll say, man, is TikTok's got to chill out, man. I don't know if it's TikTok doing it or whatever, but like some of these venues are booked all the way into 2028. And it's just
crazy.
like, and it's insane, man. So
crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna try and figure out what we got to do. But yeah, went very well, I think.
Good, awesome. Cory, what's going on, buddy? How are you? Always good to see you.
If I ever got married again, I would take $20,000 and I'd go to fucking Alaska or something, Hawaii. Moscow. I don't know.
Moscow.
Ooh.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there is,
to get married or just instead of getting married, just go.
Like get married and then honeymoon there.
Got it. Like elope and then honeymoon there.
Yeah. It's a big old party for your friends. Although I will say we threw a big party for our friends and it was the best thing ever. So
it was.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Fantastic. It's like,
mine was too.
I would love to go to Hawaii. I just don't know how many people follow us there,
I will if you pay for it. It's fine. I'll be there.
Right, exactly.
I got invited to a wedding in Japan next summer.
Oh my God. Who the fuck are you hanging out with? I got to stop with the cussing. Who are you hanging out with?
I won't put him out there
Do I
yet.
know him?
I'm not sure. Maybe in
All right,
passing,
that's
if
fine
nothing
then.
else.
Because if I
But
didn't get that invite, I'm gonna be pissed.
Well,
nah, you wouldn't have gotten an invite, I don't think. But yeah, I'm seriously thinking about it.
now
That'd be cool. That'd be dope, dude.
do you get to have a samurai sword? Because if that's the case,
I'm going to one way or the other. It's gonna be part of my wardrobe.
But like, why
do
Japan?
you show up to a wedding in Japan in full samurai garb?
Yes.
Ooh, I would do it, dude. I would do it.
I want a 4-page essay on why Japan though.
Okay.
Like, is it
The
just
land
like
of the rising sun, dude?
Well, his wife is half Japanese, so
Okay, fair. All right, that's fair. There you
but
go.
I don't really know. Like, I don't honestly didn't really delve that far. Like, is there a lot of family still there? Like, who knows? But
All right, no, that's
I'm
fair.
a sucker for a good kimono.
pretty dope, dude. Yeah, Japan. And it's funny
that a
because
dragon?
Japan is like, I have all the desire in the world to go to Japan and none to go to China. Like, Japan is like a whole nother. It is a whole. Obviously, it's a whole nother country, but you know what I
smog.
mean.
You'll die of smog in China.
Yeah, I have
China.
no desire to go to China.
I've heard amazing things about Japan though.
Same.
From
Yeah.
a lot of different people. So
China.
yeah.
What else is going on, Corey? How's your weekend? How's your Thanksgiving, Corey?
As expected. It was good. It was good. I don't know. We ate food. We hung out. Nobody was injured, to my
Good.
knowledge.
Nice.
Actually,
What was it like
that's up for
having
debate.
Thanksgiving in the new and improved home?
Well, Greg, we had it last year here. About a week after. Actually, no, dude. Yeah, a week. The week we moved in last year, we had
You
Thanksgiving.
had it, yeah.
Which was wild. But yes, this is the second one, and it's much easier. Although, dude, you know what? I'm not even. This is kind of a whatever breach of topic here, dude. I shit you not. I was happier in the fucking little duplex, half the size of this house. I don't even like this house. I'm ungrateful for it. I don't want to sound ungrateful, but like dude, I have felt this way since we moved here. I really don't want to sound ungrateful because I am. But honestly, it's too big. When Gabby was working overnights, I was like, I hate this. There's so much room and there's nothing. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's just me with my thoughts. Maybe I'm not clean and serene anymore. I don't know. But it's too big, and I don't. It's just whatever.
Too many years of living in a refrigerator box in Camden will do that to you, bub.
Dude, well, dude, I guess you get used to it, you know? Like, I was just used to my little hole in the wall freaking duplex.
I mean, I do have to say, like, Thanksgiving dinners at the little duplex, everybody just kind of on top of each other, squeezing by to get
it wasn't very
a charm to it. No, there was a charm to it. A togetherness,
you gotta be up on each other's butts.
Yeah, rub up on each other.
Yeah.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
That's fine. Anyway, I'm sorry. That's okay. I'm about to like crisis vomit all over this podcast. All right.
You're about to. What did you say? Christ vomit?
Crisis
vomit. Got it. Okay. Well, I want to cook on something here in a minute, but real quick. I know we did this last year. Real quick. Off the top of your head, most underrated Thanksgiving dish. It could be traditional or non-traditional. Most underrated Thanksgiving dish. Greg.
All right, I'll say this. First off, my fiance makes a corn bake every year that is phenomenal. Nice. It's phenomenal. I love it. It's not something you would just like automatically think of, but it's so good. Yeah. Her sister did like a homemade cranberry sauce this year with fresh cranberries and orange zest shaved on the top, dude. It was absolutely delicious.
All right,
phenomenal.
Cool. Underrated, Corey. Underrated dish or food item of any sort.
You said it can be traditional or non-traditional?
Yeah.
All right, so on my table, I don't think everybody has stuffed mushrooms on their table as a first course. I think those are underrated. People just don't like mushrooms sometimes, which is fine. Like I'm not like seeking out mushrooms ever.
Yeah,
but those things are just so good. So good. They got eaten
only
this
the
year.
psychedelic kind.
What'd you stuff them with? Like a little bit of sausage? What'd you have in there?
So that's the thing. I don't know what she does. It has something to do with breadcrumbs, and she puts that inside of them. And then what she does is she puts the sausage on top of the mushrooms and bakes them like that. So I think like the juices like trickle down, or I don't know.
Into it.
So good.
Nice.
Just so I love them.
Well,
I think
if Gabby could email us at trudgereportpod@yahoo.com to let us know what was stuffed in there, that'd be
a little
that'd be great.
Tell her to attach the recipe as a PDF doc.
I'm gonna tell her to sponsor us.
I think smoked ham is underrated, dude. I love a good ham. I like ham more than I like turkey. You know, grill it a little bit. Like I like to pan fry mine, get it nice and almost dry, almost like bacon in a way, dude, and just throw some salt on it. I think it's the best. I think it's very underrated.
You know, I don't like, Sean, you're well aware of this. I don't like when people do things that I don't think they should do. And that's one of them. I don't think ham should be on a Thanksgiving table. I don't think I don't think prime rib should be on a Thanksgiving table. I think that turkey should be the only meat. That's just me. I know. Yes, I agree. The other things are better, but it's Thanksgiving.
100%.
You guys can wait till fucking Christmas for all that stuff. Okay, that's my opinion.
Fair enough. Hey, fair enough. All right. That being said, most overrated Thanksgiving dish, Cory.
See, that's the thing. A lot of people would say the turkey because it's not the best. It's not the most, anybody else does anybody else bake a turkey and eat it any other day of the year?
No, I do like a good smoked turkey sandwich from time to time, but no, not a baked turkey.
Overrated. A lot of people would say turkey. I would say I don't have any love for a green bean casserole, really. It's fine.
I love
it can be very good, but it's like, great. Thanks for putting in minimal effort to bring this to my house or whatever. I don't know. Like I just take it somewhere else. Yeah.
All right. Overrated, Greg.
There's nothing that's overrated in my book. I'll eat it all. So, yeah.
I think mashed potatoes are overrated. Like I love. Listen, it's not even that I don't. Yeah. Listen, it's not even that I don't like mashed potatoes. It's like, all right, hear me out. Just hear me out. Like when you got bomb stuffing, because I love stuffing. I think stuffing is not rated properly. It's the best. Green bean casserole, sweet potato casserole. In our family, we have a broccoli casserole with melted cheese and breadcrumbs. That's awesome. It's been an old family recipe. When you have all that other stuff, and yeah, the turkey and the bread and the rolls and all that, but like all those other starches, I don't need mashed potatoes, dude. Like I'll take a little bit of it out of like tradition with some gravy, but I'd much rather double up on my stuffing and my green bean casserole and like anything else that's there over mashed potatoes. So
there's no way.
Yeah,
I have mashed potato recipe perfected to a T, and you don't even need gravy for my mashed potatoes. I'll tell you that. They're that good. So no way.
All right. Good stuff. Well, Christmas is upon us. Everything is my house is all decorated. Everything's up in my house, inside and out. I went and the kids finally guilt tripped me into buying those like blow up lawn ornament things, like a Santa Claus and a penguin. We got them blowing, flapping in the breeze right now in the yard. All the lights are up outside. Everything's good. Got family coming in town this week from Pennsylvania.
Nice.
Looking forward to it. Christmas parade. Sophia's in a Christmas parade this Friday, Martin County, the one in downtown Stewart.
Oh, I'm going.
We'll be there. Her art club. She's in the art club after school on Wednesdays, and they're like they do like the yearbook, and they make it. It's actually really cool. They make T-shirts. They do the design for the yearbook. She's in the art club, and the art club, all the clubs in the school can be in it, but her art club's going to be in it, so she's pumped.
Tell her to throw me a candy cane.
Huh?
Tell her to throw me a candy cane.
I will.
Right.
So, guys, if you'll allow me, I wanna go on a proper rant for just a few moments, a recovery rant, if I may. Is that all right with you guys? Like,
dude,
and I don't even
that shit in.
I don't even want to like. What'd you say?
Only if I agree.
Yeah, well, I think you will. But
don't try me.
I want to do this properly because I was at a recovery group the other night. I won't even say which night. The other night. It wasn't our group, Cory. It was not a group that I normally attend. Let's put it that way. I took somebody wanted to go to a meeting and I took them.
It was probably Wednesday. It's fine.
No, it wasn't. And it would, I tell you what, dude, like if I want to disclaimer. I understand trauma is real for people. I'm not in any way, shape, or form making fun of that, negating that, minimizing that. I get it. If I was like on the fence about getting sober, if I was depressed or like, what's the point of all this? And I walked into this recovery group, I may have just jumped off the bridge like halfway through that meeting. It was so depressing. And everyone that started sharing for the first, there was a couple towards the end. And I raised my hand and shared kind of 3/4 of the way through. There was a guy before me that was good and one guy out, but like, people, hear me loud and clear. We are supposed to make recovery attractive to the newcomer. I understand that it is a place where you can bring your problems, quote unquote. We could have a conversation about that too, because as a wise man once taught me, you bring your problem to me, but you better bring along a couple solutions. And when you're sharing in recovery groups, if you're going to share something down and depressive and sad, you better end it on a positive, upbeat note. But we are supposed to make recovery attractive to the newcomer. We are supposed to, it's, as much as I can't stand the cheesiness of this saying, it should be a pep rally for God. It should be the hope and all that stuff. And man, this was just down and out and all this woe is me, and sobriety is hard. And I think about drinking every day, and I'm quote, this was a quote, I'm free, but I'm not happy or joyous, which I'm not really sure you are free, but that's a whole nother, like, and it just was, I was like, dude,
wait, somebody said that?
Huh?
Somebody said that?
Somebody said that. Somebody with
I'm
40
free,
plus
but I'm
years of
not
sobriety
happy
said
and joyous.
that. And if I was a newcomer, I'd be like, yo, this isn't like, what the hell would I want to be sober for? So I don't know. That's all. Like I said, I did raise my hand. I was part of the solution, I feel like, but man, if you're out there, people, and you are running groups or you are attending groups regularly, make it attractive for the newcomer. I'm not saying you have to lie and say everything's 100% perfect all the time, but like, if you're going to share some of the bad shit, make sure you're talking about how you're getting through it, the solution, God, the fun and for all that stuff. Make sure you're making it attractive. That's it. Go, Cory.
Yeah. All right. Clear your next hour. Listen to me right now. I'm just kidding. That's why we don't share about our bad day in these recovery groups, because everybody has a bad day, but you make it sound like a bad life to people that are new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You make it sound like
exactly.
sobriety sucks, and it doesn't suck. You probably suck. I know that's how it is for me. You know what I mean? Like if I'm going through shit, it's usually because I'm personally sucking. Like I'm not doing something I should be doing. Or whatever. I'm resting on my laurels. I'm not looking to help people. I'm not seeking God. It's always like we have a pretty designed way of living. And when, personally speaking, when I follow that,
just follow it, people.
Oh yeah.
Just
but when I follow that, I'm as curmudgeon as they get, and I love this shit. When I'm following that, I might be like grumpy because I like to be grumpy at people and stuff, and not like, not trying to make you miserable, but I like teasing you and whatever. But like life doesn't suck. Like sobriety doesn't suck. Everything before sobriety kind of sucked. You know what I mean? So like,
and maybe getting sober can be a little sucky, but that's just because I haven't. But that's why I need the people that have come before me to like.
Dude,
there's a good life out here.
I used to hear it in a couple of my attempts at sobriety. I'm not saying that kept me away from like getting sober. It didn't probably, but
it doesn't help.
Doesn't help. And I used to hear that stuff like, oh my God, I remember clear as day somebody going, I was miserable for the first 3 years of my sobriety. And I was like, oh fuck. Like I heard that and I was like, oh my God.
That's a long time.
Well, I went to my counselor at the time because I was in a rehab when that was said. I guess that was somebody brought that meeting into that rehab or something. I went to my counselor and I was like, dude, like, heard plenty of people say that like it was really hard for a while, and like, I don't want the first 3 years of my sobriety to suck. And he was like, dude, that is entirely up to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It does not have to. So, yeah, dude, we got to stop with, not we, but like whoever is doing it. Like, just because like sobriety is a struggle to you, apparently, like, take a moment to think maybe you're not doing something right, making it so, because that's really not how it's supposed to go. I'm not saying I've had we've all had plenty of life stuff come up. This still doesn't have to suck. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And it doesn't have to be hard to stay sober. That's the biggest lie out there, dude.
right.
If you had social media, you'd see it all the time.
I'll
Oh,
take your word for it.
every addict is fighting a fight that nobody sees and all this shit. Like, bullshit. I get up like everybody else does and put on pants one leg at a time.
And to your point, I have a clear design for living. If I choose not to live that way, that's on me.
Yeah,
that's on me.
But to your point, and I'm going to shut up now. But to your point, like, yes, trauma, mental health struggles and stuff. I am strictly just talking about drug addiction when I say that stuff, because I don't know what that kind of stuff is like.
But even like if you are struggling with trauma or mental health, I mean, mental health maybe is a little tricky, but because there's plenty of people that we know in recovery and that have some co-occurring disorders. They've had trauma in their life, but they have found a way to overcome it or see the good or treat it or whatever you want to say. And yeah, they might talk about those bad days and those struggles, but they come back on the back end with, and I pray and meditate every, these are the things I do. I had to seek outside help and like all this stuff. Like there was like none of that in this recovery. It was just all like doom and gloom. And
but
man,
to your point though,
it was bad.
I have to say this. I have also, like you said, like if you're going to share the bad stuff, like at least end it on a positive note,
Right.
At least like tell the truth about what we're doing here, because I have benefited from hearing how somebody was struggling recently and this, that, and, pertained to what I was going through at the time. So like that, it is beneficial, but like you said, like at least end it with the solution that you're trying to bring to it, at least, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something.
Carry the message.
Yeah.
What do you think, Greg? What do you got?
Oh, I got at least two main points on this. And like Cory was saying, I could go on all night about it. Selfishness and self-centeredness are the root of my problem, right?
Amen.
They're the 100% why my addiction and alcoholism takes over and manifests in certain ways. They're the 100% the problem of me. What's deep down at the root of it is selfishness and self-centeredness. Now, all the other shit didn't help, right? All the trauma, all the bullshit, none of that helped matters. But what it really boils down to is at the end of the day, without God, without recovery groups, without recovery in general, without the peers that I have, and friends that I've made along the way, without all that, that's who I am at my core is a selfish and self-centered person. How selfish of me to go into a recovery group as somebody who says that they're recovered, as somebody who mentors other individuals, as somebody that, hopefully sometimes when I speak that somebody gets a little something out of it. That's my goal anyways. How selfish of me to walk into one of those groups and vomit my problems on it, because at the end of the day, nobody cares. And like you guys said, I'm not in there to vomit my problems on people. Furthermore, guess what? And maybe this is a hot take, but if I have to go to a recovery group and share about, oh my God, my boss was mean to me at work today and I might drink over it, then guess what? Maybe the program didn't work for me. If that's truly an issue, right? Maybe it's not working for me. Maybe I need to go back to square one and start doing that shit over again. Right. But yeah, man, I have experienced some trauma, some pretty horrific shit,
Yeah, being a Cleveland Browns fan for that long will cause anyone trauma. So
absolutely. But
hats are off to you.
Like my sister and I suffered through some pretty horrific stuff, the kind of stuff they write books about, the kind of stuff that you see in movies. And I've never really gotten into that in a recovery group. I've spoken with a few trusted people about that kind of stuff. I've opened up to a therapist about it, but I don't share about that in recovery groups. Number one, because heaven forbid, a woman or a man that's in there that's experienced the same kind of stuff, and I set them off by doing it. But number two, like the only time I would share about that is very vaguely and briefly, like I just did. And, hey, I made it out of the other side of that.
Right.
I didn't kill myself over that. I had to do some work. I had to do some therapy. I had to get real with some people. I had to come to these groups and work this program, but I made it out of the other side of that. And that's like you said, if I'm going to share any kind of problem that's going on, I better have the solution right along with it, But furthermore, it's kind of like this stuff that you see nowadays all over social media. It's the same kind of thing. And I got told very early on in recovery that it's kind of along the same lines, was like, dude, if I fire out on Facebook right now, I've got this problem, with so-and-so, and I'm going to get 150 different responses, especially to people that don't know me or don't know the other person I'm talking about or don't have any context of the situation, only my little bullshit that I typed up. I'm going to get 150 different answers on what I need to do instead of going to the real solution, right? So to me, that is God first, and then, if need be, a couple very trusted individuals that I trust, that if one of you two guys, if I call you up and share a problem with the two of you, like I know that it's not going to go further than that. And I know that I can get an honest answer. And sometimes, actually a lot of that time, and that's what I respect about the people I surround myself with nowadays, is I get a very brutally honest answer of, bro, you're the problem. This is where you're being the problem. This is what you should do to fix it. Cool. Yep. So, but yeah, going in and sharing that in a place where we should be sharing the solution, where we should be trying to support one another. It's okay to have bad days, and it's okay in recovery, 10 years on, 15 years on, or whatever, to have some shaky days and to have some shaky times. But you should know at this point what the solution is and what you need to do about it, and not go into a room where there's people that are freshly sober or just trying to scrape through that hour of the day so that they don't get high, so that they don't drink, and you dumping your problems on it.
The other one is the one where, we people with years and years of sobriety talking about how crazy they still are. I'm still insane. I'm still crazy.
I can't stand it.
Dude, you shouldn't be, because a piece of our literature says we've been restored to sanity. If we follow this way of life and all that, and there was a lot of that
like
last night
these
too.
are the people that they don't mean like they act a little silly and goofy at times and stuff and like have their humor. They don't mean that. They mean like, oh, I still get the cops called every now and again for a fucking domestic dispute or something, but it's okay. I'm sober,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's ridiculous. And let's face it, gentlemen, it's kind of like too, and God love them, all the people who who may not necessarily get it. They're not in recovery or whatever, and they say to us like, "Oh, that daily fight and that daily struggle that you guys have to go through." And like, I mean this with the most sincerest respect, but it's like we all kind of laugh at that, because it's like we know that it's not true. We are not, we don't have cancer, thankfully, right? We don't have dementia or some kind of like crazy mental illness that we have to take medication for every day to just keep it level. You know what I'm saying? And thank God for that. Like, thankfully, we have a solution that works, that we don't have to fight and struggle every day.
It just it blows my mind when you see that stuff. Like I said, Sean, like Facebook and stuff, when you see it posted by people with years of sobriety.
Yeah.
Like talking about like the daily struggle, and it's like, why are you, people listen to you, dude? Don't post that.
That's the worst part, is people are listening. Yeah. People believe that crap that you're putting out there,
Yeah. If when I walked into the room and I met either one of you guys, Sean, especially because he had some years at that point, but or anybody else, and they sat here and looked me dead in the face. I'm like, yeah, well, you can recover, but I'm going to tell you what, man, like I white knuckle it every day. I got to go on my lunch break. I have to go outside and basically do Lamaze in my car so that I don't drink, or I don't get high. I wouldn't want to do it. I would, take me somewhere else, man, because this is not the place for me.
Yep. So that's a good segue. So holidays, right? What is the other thing we hear on this time? Like how hard the holidays are. The holidays are so hard. And again, I want to preface this with, I do understand that some people in early sobriety, they may not have their family in their life. Their family might not want them in their life, whatever, right? They have no place to go. They're in halfway. I mean, I get all that, but it goes way beyond that, right? How hard the holidays are. And I'll never forget my mentor talking to me early on, like drilling into me, like, it's just another day, son. It's just another day. Your birthday, your sobriety anniversary, if you get lucky enough to stay sober, your Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, St. Patrick's Day, 4th of July, New Year's, you name it. It is just another day. And you're going to get up and you're going to hit your knees and you're going to ask God for the same strength, direction, and courage that you did the day before. And you're going to do your you know what I mean? Like he drilled it into me, like, it's just another day. You're going to go to your meeting. You're going to do everything you would do. And the cool thing about our area is that there are places you can go, at least for a bulk of each day, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. And actually New Year's and Christmas Eve, even more so, because we have the pretty much meetings around the clock, right? The recovery groups around the clock, but they have the Thanksgiving Day dinner. They have the Christmas Day dinner. There's New Year's Eve, the meetings, but also the spaghetti dinners. Like, there's all kinds of stuff. And most places have something you can attend. You know what I mean? But that whole idea that the holidays are harder than other days. What do you think?
It's I mean, I agree with you. It's just another day. I get it. Like, I get feelings are valid, and I understand people being a little sad or whatever. Becoming a victim out of it's pretty much inexcusable, I think. But
right,
like I can remember my first Thanksgiving and Christmas in Florida, and I was in like an IOP program. So like naturally there was things that we were doing and stuff like that, and like I had made some friends by then, and in and out of the program anyway. But like I do remember being like fed up because I had spent the last couple years. I'd have to think about it, but I know I spent the year before the holidays in rehab, and I was like, Jesus, like another holiday away from home. I then had to remind myself there was no such thing as home anymore because, again, like it was literally gone. I told myself I was going to do a week of detox and then go back home to nothing, that nobody was going to take me in. So it was kind of easy to get over that part of it, but yeah, like missing the family and stuff, that's all okay and stuff, but I definitely filled it with things early on, like filled it with, like I said, like friends. To your point, Sean, like I'd spent a few holidays at like recovery groups and stuff like that. And dude, honestly, those are some of the best memories.
Yeah, same.
We spent a Christmas Eve at a couple recovery groups, and I ended up hanging out with some old timer that night that you guys both know, and taking somebody that was like belligerently drunk to the hospital and trying to help that person. And that was a very rewarding thing to do on Christmas Eve. Like, it was extremely fulfilling. And then ever since then, like, I mean, after some years, you create a family, like literally a family of your own, but you still have like the family of recovery recovery community. Like, Thanksgiving every year has been just people that we call family now, and that my kids call uncle and aunt, and stuff like that. So it's been really good. But yeah, I think to a point, like, feel your feelings, but also get the hell over it too, because there's no point in moping around on a holiday and stuff. There's other reasons to be sad on a holiday that are much worse to overcome, I think, rather than you're in another state, or your family isn't speaking to you right now, or whatever. So.
And the short-sightedness of, which I get it, I think we all have it to some degree of like, oh, it's my first Thanksgiving and Christmas. I'm 4 months sober. My family doesn't want me to come, whatever. I'm not invited. It's like, yeah, but listen, bro, if you're actually doing the deal, then there's going to be many, many, many more holidays.
Yeah.
And God does amazing things when we put our hand in his, and that family can, it's not promised to us, right? But that family can totally come back, or we create a new family or whatever the case may be. Like this whole
It's
idea,
it's not
it's just
promised to us, but like
right.
it probably will happen.
Right.
If
That's
we're
what I
really
mean.
doing the right thing. I mean,
Right.
they literally fly here and visit us, Sean, right? Like you
Yeah.
said, you have family coming in, and
Yeah. Wednesday.
I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
they spend
Yep.
their own money to come see us these days.
Yeah. That's wild. Well, very good. What about you, Greg? Any thought on that kind of
Well,
stuff?
yeah, I mean, of course, when you first get, especially, if your story is like, myself or Corey's, or, or countless other people we know, you're in a new spot, you're newly sober, you're not near your family. Maybe your family doesn't want to have anything to do with you at that point yet. And it's tough for sure. But yeah, I mean, I can remember, those first few holidays, and it was hammered into my head pretty early on in recovery. Like the best thing, it is through giving that we ultimately receive, right? So what can I do to, number one, get out of my own selfish head, right? And number two,
Right.
to give back to other people, right? And so it started just with, hey, I live in a sober living community. There's a whole bunch of people that aren't going home. It's the community did allow like people, hey, if you're going to take a trip home, you can take a trip home. There was, policies on how long you could be gone and when you had to come back and what you had to do when you came back, as far as like making sure that nothing crazy happened. But there were a good chunk of people that stayed around, and okay, cool. Let's, everybody pitch in what you can. There's no set out, whatever. And we're gonna cook up some food. And like thankfully, like, the facilities were made available for us to do that. I know how to cook. And there were several other people there that knew how to cook. And it's like, cool, we're gonna cook up food for this community and we're gonna share together. And it's the same way that, it is in a sense like what I'm doing for my recovery. It was a recovery based type of community, but it's the same kind of deal. It's like we're all in the same boat together, right?
Right.
We've all shared a common struggle, and we all have to share in a common solution, right? And that's how it works with people like us. We're not trustworthy of other people that don't know what we have gone through or anything like that. So, but it's the same kind of thing. It's like, hey, we're all in the same boat. Yeah, we don't get to see our family for Thanksgiving or Christmas. So what can we do to lighten that load a little bit and start thinking more about other people and less about ourselves, And yeah, that was awesome. And then like, Cory started Cory and Gabby started doing their Thanksgiving thing every year. That was awesome to go to. Each one of you guys, along the way, have all.
I think we did Christmas or Christmas Eve a couple years in a row as well.
You did Christmas Eve, and then you told me that you didn't want us around anymore on Christmas Eve, and that you were tired of cleaning up after us. So I was like, well,
no, but again,
great.
and it was so cool. Like Sean, you and Catherine lived in a duplex at that point. Cory lived and Gabby lived in a duplex. Like it was cool. It was like a little area. We all did the best we could. Everybody brought what they could bring, and we just shared together, and that's like, I think like number one, that's how real friendships form. But number two, I can't get any of this good stuff unless I'm giving, right? And the whole spirit of the holidays. So
I only say that, Sean, because I miss Christmas Eve at the McDonald residence, but whatever.
That's okay. I do. It did end up becoming like one of those things where it wasn't even that it was a lot to clean up. It was just family obligations, because my family's all local. You know what I mean?
So 20 young, able-bodied men around not one stayed around to help Sean clean up the pizza boxes. Unbelievable.
That's not true.
All right.
I remember
Well, I didn't.
when Brian Beatty got his truck stuck in the mud across the street from my house and had to be pulled out by what's his name's Suzuki. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Who's
Josh?
Suzuki?
Is his name Josh? No.
Yeah.
He passed, right?
Healy?
No. Well, he passed, yes, but you know what I'm talking about. Greg, what was the little kid's name? Josh and Brittany. They moved to like Louisiana or something like that.
Rich, dude. Rich.
Yeah.
Rich Picana.
Yeah, RIP.
Rich Picana. Yeah. He had a little Suzuki.
That's
and he
right.
pulled Brian's, whatever Brian had, F-250, whatever it was. That was just funny sight. But a lot of good times. We did 4th of July for a while too. Like, that's the great thing about it. And even nowadays, Cory will bitch and moan that he doesn't get invited. Greg, he gets invited. I just want you to know that he gets invited.
Oh, I know.
But we'll do like, football night at one of our houses where we'll get a bunch of food and the guys together and we'll watch whatever the game is. We did stuff for Final Four last year. Like, we have a lot. We did a Ryder Cup thing this year for the Ryder Cup end of September. And then that was the Georgia Alabama game and, a couple big, that first really, really big weekend in college football. So we do a lot of that stuff still. And those, you're right, dude. Those are just a bunch of sober people. Sometimes it's spouses. Sometimes it's just the guys. Like, those are some of the most fun times I've ever had in sobriety.
Absolutely.
I go to say I don't know what it is, but like I do know what it is. And we all know what it is. It's probably called the Fellowship of the Spirit, to be honest.
It is. It's being together.
But like at my wedding, for instance, Gabby's mom, she made a speech, if you remember, and she talked about it. But she also told us privately, like, whatever you guys have down there in Florida is so special. And like, I know that like it's probably easy for like a parent to say that about like what their kids have in their lives, and really it doesn't take much to make our parents proud. It also doesn't take much to make them not proud. But you know what I mean? But like she just kept making remarks about how like we had a special community around us. And like I knew exactly, there was just an authenticity that surrounded that weekend. At least I felt, again, easy for me to feel, it was my wedding, but I felt that at many other people's weddings. Exactly. The holidays, whenever we get together, all of us, and it's one thing to chop it up with the boys, but also to like, I bring up my wedding because everybody was helpful as hell. Like everybody was like hands in. Like we didn't have money to pay anybody to set shit up. Like we were all there. All of us were just did it. We did it. So like that kind of stuff was like we were super grateful for all that. But we all have that in our lives. Like that's the point of it.
What I think it really boils down to is you can't fake genuine good feelings. You know what I'm saying? Good. Right. And like you just see it. So when we're all down there and we're all, or you guys are, still down there and you're doing stuff like that, and you're, it's genuinely like, hey, come on in, bring what you got, and let's sit around and genuinely talk, have some fun, have some laughs. Yep. You can't just replicate something like that. Like that's real stuff, and people can see it, man. So yeah, that's why you get the comments and the true stuff of them saying like, yeah, it is special. Now it's not magic. Nobody's coming down there and just magically getting sober and magically forming friend groups and stuff like that, but it's special.
Yeah,
like you said, we know where we've been, and like we know where we are, and it's all, other than circumstances, it's all the same. So
yeah. But I was going to say too, like, along with your guys' point about the holidays, man, if you're new in recovery, or maybe if you're not new in recovery, maybe if you're 3, 4, 5 years and for whatever circumstance and situation, you can't be with your family, you can't be with your friends, and you start getting into that pity pot, because it's easy for us to do. We're masters of getting inside our own heads and woe is me and all that BS. Find a way to get out of that and go do something for somebody else. Go to a homeless shelter, go to a recovery group, go to, one of the things like Sean was talking about, like all the different stuff that the halls and the churches and stuff like that put on. Go do something for somebody else. I remember, and I hate even bringing it up, because again, the last thing I would want is a pat on the back. But I mean, I'm sure you guys remember. But if you don't, like, there were times like early on in Christmas where Bill, our friend and former co-host,
I was just thinking
we'd
of
go
that.
out to the woods, man. Bill would take us to McDonald's. We'd all throw down like 20, $30, whatever we had in our pockets, and we'd buy a ton of McDoubles. You know what I'm saying? And we would take them out into the woods and give them to homeless people.
Yep. I was just thinking
and sit
about
there
that.
and sit there and chat with those people. Because like, and that's right there. That was all I needed to like fill myself with it, whatever holiday spirit needed to be there. But yeah, just being a good human being. So it's like find something to do and not sit in your pity pot.
Yeah, I agree. So, Cory, you're gonna love this. I want to talk about gratitude, but
Let's talk about gratitude.
I want to talk about gratitude. But no, I do want to talk about it for a minute and kind of maybe go around and talk about some stuff we're thankful for. And what I mean by that is it's easy to be thankful for, oh my God, I got, my charges got dropped, or my wife let me back in the house, or I got a new job, or I got a new car, or like it's easy to be grateful and thankful when things are going really good. But I think the gratitude that is really lasting and that is more important than anything is for like the little stuff. You know what I mean? Like the little stuff like that's what I think is more important than anything else. I stand up in the morning, I have my cup of coffee, and I look out my kitchen window over my front yard. Like just there's like those moments where it's just like, man, everything's calm, everything's quiet. I those are the things that I'm grateful for the roof over my head and for my physical sobriety. I'm mostly grateful for my relationship with my higher power because through that, everything else is possible. But like, for instance, I had some stuff happen in my house not too long ago, just some maintenance stuff. And one of my buddies who I've known for quite a few years now, who doesn't even attend recovery groups anymore, but is still sober. And like, I still keep in touch with him. He's an appliance guy. I called him and he like walked me through this issue with my freezer and my ice maker. And I was able to fix it on my own with his help, like for nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm grateful for that kind of stuff. I'm grateful that if I have a legal question, that I have lawyer friends that I could call and ask those questions to, or whatever it is. But like, I want to talk about that for a few minutes because I think that's the more important. I'm grateful that we do have such a strong recovery community here, grounded in our literature, that people are really like doing the deal. And there's a lot of that good message getting spread around because like we've said, not every place is like that, So I don't know, take that wherever you want. I figured to wrap up the show, talk a little bit about that.
About gratitude.
I want to talk about gratitude. Yeah. Just don't ask for it to be a topic in your recovery group. That's all.
No, yeah, you want to. If you ask for anything, make
and
it.
Don't send me a list. I don't want your list in the morning. Come on,
gratitude
or
list
at night. I don't want your list. Just be grateful.
At least unsolicited gratitude list. It's worse than an unsolicited dick pic, dude. Listen,
I don't know if it's worse, but it's close. It's close.
Do you guys not get the? Okay, all right. Am I the only one that gets it? Anyway, I'm just kidding.
The dick pic or the gratitude list?
Both. Anyway, just kidding. Yeah, dude. So gratitude, like we've heard it said, like that it's an action word or whatever. My thing is, like, I don't have. This is what I have against gratitude lists. Like, I'm supposed to write things down that I'm grateful for, and it'll make me grateful. My thing is, like, I'm not grateful for anything unless I'm living this design of living, right? Unless I'm seeking God, like it's just that's my natural state. I'm an unloving creature, right? In my natural state. But yeah, I mean, being connected with God for this amount of time, and that wavers on my end at times, but it never does on his, and that's something I'm grateful for, to be honest.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's like the little things, dude. When you said it's the little things, I shit you not, it's so stupid, but it's so not stupid to me. I was washing a dish. I think it was Thanksgiving night. I was washing a dish, and it was like it's like one of those ceramic things that you can bake in. Like if you want, you can like put it in the oven. You know what I'm talking about? Like this old fashioned.
Yes, like a Pyrex.
Yeah, but it's not clear.
Okay.
Right? You know what I mean?
Anyway, Pyrex isn't always clear.
It's important to know that it was not like a typical like pot or anything like that, because my thought was, I can't believe we have like a variety of shit to cook in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That.
Like,
yeah.
It's because it's quite literal that like I had nothing.
No
I had
pot
nothing,
to piss in.
Literally not a pot to piss in, but I had nothing except the clothes that I was given by people who felt bad for me, shoes that weren't mine, that kind of stuff. So like, it blows my mind. And I also know that if I, God forbid, was to ever return to that ridiculous, chaotic lifestyle, God forbid, that I would literally be bringing said dish that I could cook in the oven. I would bring that to the pawn shop and ask for 25 cents or whatever the fuck, along with many other things. Like that's how extreme it is that I like stood there. Yeah. I stood there and felt grateful for that one dish in the moment. Mm-hmm. But I would also put it in a box and try to sell it, if I was living that way of life. That's how crazy. It's just nuts, dude. But it's that stuff, and like obviously I'm grateful for my kids and my wife and all of our health, first off, because that is the one thing that I think we have, even though I freak out sometimes, and I go, oh my God, what's wrong with me? I think we're all healthy. That's like probably.
And happy too. Like the kids they're like,
oh, they're great.
I know your kids, mine are the same way. They're happy kids. They enjoy living. They have the joy of living. And like, you can't really ask for anything more. You really can't. I'm grateful for having maintenance done on my lawnmower. That's what Brian used to talk about that. Greg.
He had his vacuum repaired once too, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. That's what it was. Maybe that's what it was. Vacuum. Take us home, Greg.
Yeah, man. I'm grateful for a lot nowadays, but certainly the first thing that comes to mind is that like I have a wonderful fiance and her family that like accept me as one of them.
Yo, I'm grateful for that too, man. My wife's side of the family. Hell yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And like, especially too, because, some of them know a little bit about my past. They don't judge me for it. They're very open about it. But yeah, just the fact that she has this like big, huge family and they're all like genuinely, they care. They ask the kind of questions that show that they care. Especially around the holidays, they're all very just open and loving, and it's very cool to see a family operate like that. I am grateful for her, and I'm grateful that Peyton wants me around as his stepdad. He thinks I'm cool. He wants to play with me all the time, and like that right there. I mean, like you guys were saying with your kids, is like, yes, they're happy and they're loving life and they're joyous, but like they think that we're cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. Like all of the piss poor decisions and everything like that I've had and that have led me to a certain point, but like still at the end of the day, like this innocent kid thinks I'm super cool and wants me to do wrestling moves on him, and and just other fun stuff, and
hit him with a stunner.
Absolutely, man. And that is so, and you got to do the stunner with proper form. You really got to make sure
full
like
send
full send it. If he gets a little dizzy afterwards, we just, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
That's the way the world works. You're just preparing him for it.
That's right. But no, I mean like that,
doing him a favor.
Every day I get to be woken up and reminded like that there are people that are excited that I am coming home from work.
Yep.
So that's huge. My relationship with God, absolutely. That's right up there at the top. For if there is none of that, then there is none of me, right? And yeah, like what we've talked about all episode, but like the genuine bonds that I've formed with people being in recovery for the years that I have been. The fact that, I can, specifically, yes, we see each other every week on camera, but like I can pick up with you guys at any point in time, and it's like we just left off, and like that's real friendship right there. That's real brotherhood. That's family. Yep. So yeah, man, those are the top things that I and certainly I'm grateful to if for anybody out there like struggling and thinking that like, especially being early on and that you're never gonna have anything again. I got credit cards nowadays. I got, we're paying a mortgage, like things like that. And yeah, does that stuff suck sometimes? Yeah, but at the same time, like I get to have that things that did not compute to me a decade ago, things that I never thought that I'd be able to attain, so yeah. I'm thankful for all that. I would say most importantly, I'm thankful for the fire, right? Because the shitty moments, the stuff that the character building stuff, right? Because as much as that stuff sucks sometimes, it is how I approach those situations, how I sometimes suffer in those situations, and more importantly, how I take the lesson and come out on the other side, still here and hopefully a little bit better for it. So,
And honestly, dude, like sounds kind of cheesy, but are we not grateful for drug addiction and alcoholism to a degree, at least in our own lives?
I'm with you there, dude. I'm grateful.
Because
I'm grateful that it all turned out exactly the way it was supposed to, and I am here today.
Right.
Obviously,
I wouldn't change a lick of it.
To think that we could be still wandering through our lives 10, 20, 30 years from now and not having the facts about ourselves. Just wondering why I'm a screw up the way I am, So,
I mean, obviously not everybody makes it out, and we know that honestly better than many probably, but not everybody makes it out. And even more people, like you just said, like live a long time in a hell that's, second to very few. But for us, at least, yeah. I mean, dude, I don't think this guy wasn't going to God unless my ass was absolutely on fire, and that's what drug addiction did for me. So, it took some years off my parents' lives, probably, unfortunately, but it gave me one. So,
well, boys, I think that's a wrap for tonight. I think let's kick off the Christmas season correctly. I know we all got families and all kinds of stuff to do. It's going to be it's a fun next few weeks. We got parades and Christmas shows and fairs and all kinds of stuff going on around here. So
yeah. By the way, Sean, because we didn't talk about me enough, by the next episode I'll be 30. So RIP to my 20s and
RIP to your 20s.
I expect my back will hurt a lot next week. So we'll see if I'm on.
I want to you're in our prayers, Cory. I want to leave everything with this quote from a piece of our recovery literature, and you guys will recognize it. We are average Americans. All sections of this country and many of its occupations are represented. And you could even say we are average citizens of the world nowadays, as well as many political, economic, social, and religious backgrounds. We are people who would normally not mix. I wouldn't have hung out with your ass, Cory. But there exists, here's the one part, but there exists among us a fellowship, a friendliness, and an understanding which is indescribably wonderful. And that's what we were talking about when we talk about us all being together, the blood family and the recovery family. So with that, shout out to our listeners. Please like, follow, and share on all socials at Trudge Report Pod. Email us, trudgereportpod@yahoo.com. Send in your mailbag requests for topics, questions, comments to any of these handles. Remember, we are all here if anyone wants to talk about recovery and our experiences, or if you are struggling with some form of addiction. Thank you again to Janine and Stella Mix Podcast Management. Good night, God bless, and may you trudge the road of happy destiny. We'll see you all next week. Amen.